we go. Test, test, test. Okay, good. All right, already got a like. I'll take that. I'll take the quick like. So if any of you have a request, let me know, and I can give my thoughts. Crypto, stocks, futures. 2 likes already. 4 likes already. I like it. Very good. No pun intended. Again, for those of you getting logged on, we're going to do a lunchtime analysis here. So if you have, like I said, a stock, crypto, future that you want me to take a look at, give some thoughts on, let me know in the chat box. Super chats will go to the top and for sure get done. So just something to keep in mind. But like I said, let me know. And what about what parent is that? XAU. Is that Australian dollar? What's XAU? I don't know. I don't think WeBull has XAU. SRM. Will BABA go up soon? I have no idea. Charts are not a crystal ball. I have no magic powers. Anybody that makes those claims to you is lying to you. Will it go back up? I mean, it could, but will implies like, yeah, it will happen. But so I have no idea if BABA will go back up. SRM. All right. Very nice day on SRM. If you want me to look at a specific time frame, let me know. Because my default is usually the 30-minute. So SRM, we have a bit of a pullback right now. And we have a nice well-defined area right here. So if I change that for support. So overall, have a nice bold pennant that is in the works right now. Big upwards move there for you golfers. Put the golfer down here. So bold pennant right now in SRM. Definitely the key area of support right now. Right down there around the 81 cent mark, give or take a little bit. And that's just simply where the prices bounce off of a couple times right there. But as of right now, as I speak, nice hammer candle right off of that area. So is this thing getting ready to head back up here and do battle with it? We shall see as we move into the afternoon session. But yeah, overall, SRM, well, I guess I take that back. I don't know your viewpoint. To be fair, if you were a scalper and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 5 minutes, well, then from that angle, the chart looks terrible. So I'm definitely making the comment from more of an overall standpoint. SLDB. Again, if you have a request, let me know. I make no promises that I'll get to your request unless you do a super chat. So super chats will ensure that I see it and ensure that I get to it right away, because I realize you can make a request and then I don't get to it 20 minutes until after you make the request. But super chats alleviate both of those issues. Excuse me. So SLDB, I alerted in our chat room earlier for a 665 break, and I remember seeing it go up and make the push, but I lost track of it. I didn't realize it's pulled back this much. So as of right now, not a whole lot to like about it. It's basically in no man's land, and no man's land will finally stop down here around this former breakout area, gap close location. But as of right now, I mean, you're seeing here, there's just nothingness. It's just the void of the gap. Now, that's not to say that this is headed straight down. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that technically speaking, as we look that way, there's really just nothing there to suggest a possible bounce point. So yeah, as of right now, SLDB looking very rough. Because, I mean, right now it's literally just going still straight down. It's not even trying to go sideways. If it were going sideways, then, you could start to maybe make the argument that, okay, it's going sideways, so that suggests that maybe this, downwards movement is done. But, I mean, it's not even going sideways. It's still literally just dropping straight down. So, yeah, SLDB looking rough. Will BABA go back up? Again, like I said earlier, I have no idea. I mean, it looks like it's going back up right now. But I guess I don't know your reference. I mean, yes, look at this 30-minute. I mean, this is a very impressive uptrend here. So, I mean, odds suggest that it will keep on going up, but those are just odds. There's no guarantees. So, I mean, that's why you have to manage risk because now if you're like, I think Bob is going to go back up, I would not call you crazy because looking at this, I would be like, oh, I can totally see what you're saying. There's a nice uptrend, so that makes sense why you would think that this could, go back up. But that's still not guaranteed to happen, and nobody can say, myself included, oh, it will go back up. We can say, I think it'll go back up, and then, you kind of throw out your thought, and people can agree or disagree. So if you were to say, Clay, I think it'll go back up, yeah, I'd agree. I see where you're coming from, but that still doesn't mean that it's going to happen. So key battleground moving forward, nothing fancy, just word of the party stop today. That was right up there at about 129.15, so keep an eye on that. But yes, overall, do I think it'll go back up? I don't know if it'll go back up. I can see your reasoning on why you might think it'll go back up because this is a very nice uptrend for sure. Again, if you're enjoying this format, hit that like button. Let me know. That's a very easy way to communicate that you're enjoying this format of just doing some. I'm still trying testing out time frames. Last week I did some more, or I did like a late morning. Then I did some evenings. Now I'm trying a lunchtime, basically right at noon Eastern. Would this be a good time? And right now, seemingly yes. Getting some good participation. I wouldn't mind seeing viewers a little bit more, but it's definitely not crickets at least. So again, if you enjoy this format, hitting the like button is a quick way to communicate that. Can you take a look at Tesla? I can take a look at Tesla. Again, if you want your super chat to get, or if you want your analysis to get addressed right away, super chats, make sure that I'll see it and that I'll get to it right away. So Tesla, been tracking this one. Let's extend this trend line out. So yeah, didn't hit it exactly, but if you watch any of the past analysis videos, we've been tracking that resistance line right there. And I mean, it got somewhat close to it this morning. I mean, it didn't hit it or anything like that, but it got, I think we can agree, within the general vicinity and then ultimately pulled back. So that trend line remains the key battleground here on Tesla. Any sort of pullback, you'll want to keep an eye on that purple line right there, 50 period moving average. But right now, a relatively mild day. I guess we can, it is Tesla. Let's look at the 5-minute real quick. Oh, yeah. Okay. So on the 5-minute, we have, now maybe some of you are like, no, I'm not a day trader. The 5-minute is worthless, but some of you may care about this, but we have a very well-defined wedge pattern here. So there's top of the wedge. Bottom, and it looked like, all right, so Tesla's actually just broken down through. So at this point on the 5-minute, we have a bearish breakdown. And so that makes sense why this is starting to pick up momentum here. And you could very realistically see it now come down to that pink line there, which is the 200 period moving average. But yeah, look at that. Broke this wedge, and just like that, the bears, I'm sure this knocked out some stop losses. It's probably still knocking out some stop losses. If it can clear down through that low, you got to think there's probably some more long stop losses hiding down there, which could kind of be the final momentum creator that carries it down to that pink line right there. And let's see if it can get down to that area right there. Like I said, I'm thinking that there are, I'll try to change up the colors a little bit. Like I said, I bet. So if it can hit that blue line right there, I think there's, again, as I mentioned earlier, and we'll mention probably a million more times, there are no guarantees. But is it plausible that if the price can hit this blue line, because that would start to trigger some stop losses, that could get this moving that much more? Yeah, I think that's a plausible scenario here. All right. I'd like to keep watching this and seeing. In fact, give me a second. I need to alert this to my community real quick. This is, so bear with me here as I do this. Tesla 5-minute broken wedge, more waiting to come. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, I really want to see if it gets more momentum. Well, we'll come back and try to check on it again, but let's go back. So 30-minute here. Let's see what else. QQQ rejected hard this morning. Let's look at this afternoon. Yeah, gap and trap this morning has come back down. So what I'm curious about now, moving into the afternoon, will the price continue to respect this trend line that it's trying to get started here? So green for support. So right now this trend line has been has been allowed to be constructed just because this pullback here has leveled out. So that level out point is where, we're building from that point. So yeah, in my mind, I would still give the bulls full. I wouldn't have really too much to worry as long as the price is now continuing to honor that trend line right there. Now, even if the price drops below there, that's not to say that the NASDAQ has collapsed and is dead and there's, dead bodies everywhere. I'm not saying that either. I mean, there's still plenty of areas of support, including a very strongly upsloping 50-period moving average. But yeah, if it can now start to maintain that support trend line right there, that would certainly make the Qs look the strongest moving forward. Again, for those of you that are here, getting logged on, if you have a request, let me know in the chat box. Super Chats will put the request at the top and make sure it gets done. And then also, if you are enjoying this format, if you enjoy this, a super easy way to communicate that to me, click that like button. And then the title is also Chit Chat. So if you have a general question, I'm happy to kind of talk through some of those, but that'll depend on the question. STAI. All right. What's going on with STAI? Oh, wow. Okay. So right away, we got to get this trend line in play because I think a lot of people have drawn this trend line right there. So that's not a great discovery. I think a lot of people have done that, and I make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same trend line, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. And as I speak, the price is approaching. Can it get a break? And if it does, is that gonna trigger more upside buying pressure? Because you're going to have breakout traders saying, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, because I'm a breakout trader and that's breaking out, I'm supposed to buy, and then they just buy. For no other reason other than something is breaking out. So like I said, if you want to just call it self-fulfilling prophecy, so right now, knocking on the door, there's the break. Now can we get some continuation? Or it's just going to be one of those cruel, fake little breakouts. But as of right now, there we go. Bull pennant in action, breaking out. Getting continuation. Got to think that anybody that's short, their stop losses are up over these highs. So if the price can break up through, hit that blue line, you got to think that it'll have some more strength to it. Again, no guarantees. I'm not telling anybody where to buy. They're just my general thoughts. But yeah. Well, that was nice. That's cool. Always fun when you capture an actual breakout right here live. I'd love to see if we can get up to that blue line and then see if just hitting that blue line all of a sudden creates a spike in the upwards direction. Sort of like on Tesla. Let's go back into Tesla real quick. See, did Tesla 5 minute, did it hit it? Nope, not quite. But it is still coming down. Again, my thesis is the same as we talked about that blue line. I think there's some stop losses hiding down there. So if the price were to hit that, does that trigger those and create another little spike in the downwards direction? We'll have to see. But what's the 5 minute look like? Okay, so here's 5 minute. Again, we have that trend line right there, which has been broken. Gotta like this action down here, the volume. That's what you want to see on breakouts. You want to see volume bigger than the consolidation candles. So as of right now, nice breakout. Now, almost a question of if the price can close above it, does it need to come down here? And if it does, do you get the classic back test where this former area of resistance now acts as support? That's a valid scenario to throw out there. But come on, can it hit that blue line? And if it hits the blue line, do we get a push? Now, the one thing with this is you got to think there's probably some profit takers now starting to take off profits. So they could kind of counterbalance one another. You have longs taking profits. You have, the shorts getting out. So they may kind of dilute each other out. There we go. So blue line. So you got to think that there are longs officially panicking now. There are people that are short, or excuse me, not longs, shorts are officially panicking. Well, whoever recommended STAI, thank you for that one. There's a second. I'm glad we took a while. That way we could see it. So just like that, beautiful breakout live. Well, that's exciting. That's good stuff. And it keeps on chugging up. How does this look on the 30 minute? There it is. So knocked out some stops and just continuing to find buyers right now. So for any of you that played that breakout, maybe you had already noticed that. Congratulations. You are getting paid very nicely. All right. Sorry, it's gold versus the U.S. dollar. Oh yeah, I don't know if there's any gold. I don't think WeBull has gold versus the U.S. dollar. Again, if you have a request, let me know. Super chats, I will see and get to right away. And that's kind of just nice anyways. Just, let's see. SRM, gold, STAI, DOMH. So DOMH, I mean, it's fine, assuming you care about the overarching standpoint. But yeah, I'm thinking about the people that, were buying there, or maybe on Friday. Remember, markets were closed on Monday. But for the people that were buying on Friday, right there thinking, oh, this thing's getting ready to come out. Yeah, they were very disappointed this morning. So again, from the overarching standpoint, it's doing fine. It's hanging in there, staying up above that 50-period moving average, that purple line there. So that's good. That's a positive. But once again, it all kind of depends on what was your strategy, where was your entry point, and all of that. Just from an overarching standpoint, got to think a lot of people have drawn a trend line like that, so you can get a potential self-fulfilling prophecy where if the price comes up here, not guaranteed, but plausible to think that if the price were to break up through there, that could generate some upwards buying pressure. And again, there's no need. So like Johnny, you've asked about NVIDIA twice. I'll get to it, but there's no need to keep asking. Like, that's where the super chat's going to play. If you want me to get to NVIDIA, like right this second, because you don't have time to wait around, well, that's where a super chat will work in your favor. If not, I'm just going to go in order, and I may not get to your request until it's too late because you got to leave for whatever reason. So yeah, Dom on the 30-minute. Actually, what's going on with this trend line here? Okay, all right. So we have a bit of a falling wedge pattern, which is actually a bullish pattern. So again, from the overarching standpoint, I like this pattern quite a bit. But as of right now, relative to the pattern, you can see it's kind of just in the middle of it, almost a no man's land of it. I mean, if we're hanging down around here, at least you can start to have a discussion of, okay, do you go long because you think it's going to bounce? Or, do you get short because you think it's going to go down? That's at least a discussion point. Or if we're up around here, then you can at least have a discussion. Do I think it's going to break out or get rejected? But as of right now, relative to the overall pattern, yeah, this is kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. The 5-minute. So 5-minute, if you're some sort of day trader within this one, the level that really stands out all of a sudden, that 50 period right there is being very, very stubborn. So that's going to be the key area of resistance. So really, in all actuality, from the 5-minute standpoint, you should be having zero discussions about doing battle with that level until this area first can be broken via the 50 period moving average. So, that's what the 5 minutes definitely revealing there. Intel is breaking up. Is it? I heard that was rumors between Broadcom and what was it? TCM, Taiwan, whatever. Suggestion: can you add swing trades? Well, these are not my trades. People are giving me requests, and then I'm just going over them. If you would like for me to take a look at something from a swing trading perspective, that's fine. Just say, hey, can you look at the hourly or can you look at the daily chart? And I'd be happy to do that. So I'm only quote unquote adding whatever people are adding to the chat for me to look at. So I appreciate the suggestion, the feedback, but just to clarify, this is a viewer run session. I'm not sitting here throwing my thought or my quote unquote picks at you. I'm just giving my thoughts for what you may have. Jude Jr. Take look at PLTR. Yeah, didn't that one pull back this morning if I remember right? It did, yeah. Oh, nice little bounce. So that's right, because I alerted to the chat room that it was approaching on the 5-minute. It was approaching the 200 period. So did it ever hit there? No, it never did. So in our private community this morning, I alerted how this one was approaching this, thinking, okay, do we get some sort of bounce off that? And to be fair, PLTR did bounce. But also, to be fair, I didn't quite get where I thought it might bounce right because I like I said, I alerted the 200 period moving average, but you can see there it never quite got down there before bouncing. But right now in the 5-minute, right away, what stands out to me now is the level that it seems to really be respecting on all pullbacks is that purple line there. After it got back above it, you can see once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. So if there are any pullbacks, that's not to say that the purple line will for sure guaranteed hold again strong, but like, again, if you're to say, I think the price is going to bounce off the 50-period moving average, I would say, I totally understand where you're coming from. Like, I see it. That doesn't mean it'll happen, but I understand your logic. I wouldn't accuse somebody of being, behaving randomly if they were to say, I want to buy at the 50-period moving average. Totally get it. But let's see, going back here to the 30-minute, what do we... So yeah, beautiful hammer candle there on the gap close, and then now heading back up. Resistance-wise, on the 30-minute, I would say the next big battleground that I could see presenting some problems right there around 122.80. But if the price can't get it up through 122.80, then nothing until, because these are all-time highs if I'm thinking right on PLTR. So if 122.80 can be broken, then nothing until right up there at about 125, which is just simply the highs from actually today. But yeah, that's a brutal move when you stop and think about it. There were some people that bought right there. So if you're, and I'll just throw this out there. I don't know if this is the case for anybody, but if you are a day trader and you bought right there and you held through there and you're still holding, I understand you're getting a bounce, but like, where was your stop loss? That sounds to me like that's totally a hold and hope situation. Again, I don't know if anybody here did that, or now I'm gonna put it this way: if you would do that you're not gonna last very long, because I understand right now this one's bouncing, but all it takes is one to not bounce, and then yeah, see you later. Never been to a live Webby. This count? No, not really, because are you a member of my program, RH? If yes, then this is kind of like a webinar, but not really, because the webinars are way more detailed, way more, this is still relatively surface deep. So it kind of counts. Let's see where we at. Again, if you want to have your chart for sure looked at, make sure you do the super chat. Or, I mean, super chats are just nice. If you just appreciate me doing this, that's, I guess that's another reason to do a super chat. PLTR. Is it worth for you ever to chart SPY? It would be great for options players, but the volatility... Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is driven by you, the viewers. I'll chart whatever WeBull has in its system. Like I said, I don't know if it's got North Korean stocks or Somalian stocks in here, but... And did you request... would be great. Okay, yeah. So SPY right now, right away what I see, have a nice little pattern here. So this is 30-minute. There's our resistance. There's support. So a nice bull pennant pattern on the 30-minute as... So resistance, support, nice upwards move. For you golfers, golf hole down here. So there's our bull pennant pattern. So as the day continues to play out, preferably speaking, you'd want to see the price stay above that green line right there. That would certainly make the chart, look and be the strongest. With that being said, if the price falls below that level, it's not like the markets are destroyed or anything like that. But in terms of if you were to say, Clay, what would make this chart look the most healthy moving forward? Most healthy would certainly be if the price can indeed stay above that green line right there. If the price were to fall below it, then I'd say immediately turn your attention to the 50-period moving average right there and keep an eye on that. If, like I said, if the price comes down there, could find potentially some support right there. Now, if the price comes down there and just blasts down through the purple line, again, it's not like the SPY is totally destroyed, but that's where you'd want to start to get a little bit worried of, are things falling apart more? But overall, yeah, that's the SPY on the 30-minute. We can look on it on the daily time frame. Yeah, okay, that's right. So daily, it's basically doing battle with these highs. So you can see right now, so it makes perfect sense from a technical standpoint, because think about it. Price was just going straight up. Price was going straight up. And then on Friday, it happened to start to go sideways. Coincidence? From a technical standpoint, I would argue, no, not a coincidence, because that's where this previous high was. So it makes total sense why, after just having gone up, did it just start to go sideways out of nowhere? No, not out of nowhere. It started to go sideways at these previous highs, aka resistance. So a good example here of the power of charts and why today it's still just going sideways. So what we have here is this little miniature, like I said, bull pennant pattern right at these highs. So if the price can get a push up through there, then yeah, it could definitely generate some additional movement. Nice, RH. Well, good. I'm glad you found the live stream here. But, you know, yeah, the CTU Tuesday night webinars are, I'd say, quite a bit different than what I'm doing here. This is still just all actually experimentation mode. So on that note, if you have not yet hit the like button, but you like this format, please hit the like button. That's going to communicate whether or not this experiment continues to go on, or else I just say, yeah, live stream's really not really worth it because they're not that popular. People don't really care that much. So if you do care, if you are liking this format, again, hit the like button. That's how you can help with this. And an even more straightforward way were super chats. That's actually people putting their money where their mouth is too. So those two things really communicate if this experiment should continue on or not. Okay, now we're at NVIDIA here. I don't know if Jana is still even here, but it is what it is. So had the break here, so let's go to the 30-minute. What does this look like? This looks like PLTR, yeah. Came down, gap close, hammer candle. Although PLTR is still getting a little bit better of a bounce, isn't it? Yeah, all right. So PLTR definitely still getting better of a bounce. NVIDIA right here. Let's look at the 5-minute. What's going on in the 5-minute? Okay, 5-minute is interesting. Oh, yeah, actually very interesting because last time the price was at the 50-period moving average. Did a very good job of respecting it. And now the price is still respecting it. It's still hanging around this area, but it also seems like, is this about to get more separation on the downside? And if so, I would fully expect NVIDIA to pick up more downside pressure right there. If you're looking to play some sort of breakout, I could see this trend line carrying some significance right there. So it might be worth keeping an eye on that. Like I said, if you're looking to try to play maybe some sort of return back up to this 141.85 mark, playing a break of that level could make some sense. Would you do live trading streams? No. Because at the open, my attention goes to my paying premium members. They deserve my utmost attention. And live trade, no, that's like, yeah, no, that sounds like a recipe to have a bunch of people complaining. You cost me money. I lost money because of you. It's like, I lost money. You lost money for being a blind puppet sheep or puppet trader. So no, I don't have any plans of that just because that sounds like a massive headache just waiting to happen. Oh, we got to check on Tesla. What's going on with Tesla? Has that? Oh, we got, what was STAI? Is that the one we saw the breakout on? Okay. So look at that. Remember what I had said earlier? For those of you that are still here, I said, if it breaks, do we come back down and do we get a back test of this area right here? This was a former area of resistance. Do we see some sort of back test? And I know, to be fair, no, Clay, it didn't happen. What are you even talking about? It didn't hit that red line. Okay, you're right. Fair enough. Didn't hit the red line. But for people that are maybe a little bit gracious in their, I mean, can we agree that it got very, very close to coming down here, back testing, and then now starting to work its way back upwards? So yeah, moving forward, that's kind of the second question is, will it truly honor this area? But as of right now, beautiful back test. Now can we get more push back to the upside? And then where's Tesla at? All right, Tesla does not want to quite. But with that being said, right now, Tesla 5-minute. Bear Pennant. In fact, I like that so much. Let me get that alerted to my community real quick. Tesla 5-minute Bear Pennant. Now in place. There we go. Hey, nice. So up over 50. All right, we're making progress. I had one stream, and maybe it was just because it was like brand new, and people were trying to suck it out. But we were at like 300 something on one of them, but haven't been anywhere close to that. So 50, that's good. Maybe lunchtime, this lunchtime stream, maybe there's some sense that goes behind it. Again, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. Let me know. You can leave a super chat, and that will bring your request to number 1, and I will do it right away. If you do not, that's fine, but I make no promises that I see it, and I make no promises that I get to it before I decide to head off, which could really be at any moment. But NVIDIA, I sold it. You sold what? Somebody sold something at 371, but I don't know what they're referring to. ADTX, please. Oh, so GCL at 371. You sold it at 371? So what you're telling me is you sold it a little bit too soon. That's right. That happens. That happens. Where was I? ADTX. All right. Well, ADTX on the 5 minute, I like. Well, assuming you're bullish, I like. Bearish, things are looking a little sketchy because we have a nice pattern here that has formed. So resistance, support, nice upwards move, golf hole down here. Have yourselves another bull pennant pattern. So yeah, a break of that level guarantees nothing, but I could see it generating some upside buying pressure. Well, what's a 30-minute got for us? Ah, okay. So 30-minute, any sort of break of the pattern here. Yeah? Yeah, sure. Any sort of break of the pattern here. I see an issue. The issue being this 200 period moving average, which you can see rejected, rejected, rejected. So I'm, that's not to say that this level can never be broken. I'm just saying, even if this pattern does break out, I'd be a little skeptical. I'd be a little leery of it just because the price would still technically be down below that pink line, which has presented some problems.
Daddy,
yeah.
can you turn the lights on?
No, you keep them off. Keep them off. What do you need?
I made some 2 loops.
You made some what?
2 loops.
2 loops?
Yeah.
Oh, Fruit Loops, you mean?
Yeah, like this.
Oh, very good.
But sometimes for you.
Oh, really? That was nice.
But I will give you some after mom's done. You can draw like scribble, scribble, scribble.
All right, that sounds like a good plan.
I can get you a pencil.
No, I don't need a pencil right now. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
Okay, can you please close the door?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
I like that.
Okay.
Want crack or open?
You can just close it. LULU. I don't know if the mic was picking up the voice, but one of my daughters came in, so if it did not pick up the voice, I was not just randomly talking to myself. But if the mic did pick it up, then you all have the context there. Let's start on the daily. What is LU? Did it get the gap close today? I can't quite tell. Did it bounce right off there? Let's see. Right there. Almost. So former area of resistance. You would think it acted as support. Didn't hit exactly, but got very close. Yeah, so let's go back down to the 30-minute. So 30-minute, you got to give credit where credit's due. From where it was at its lows to where it is right now. That's good stuff. But it's just a question of, does this bounce have genuine strength? And in my mind, the genuine strength point is it needs to stay above the 360 mark, because if it does not hold above 360, so in other words, if the price comes down here and breaks down through it, at that point, the price has gone right back to where it started, which is not exactly a sign of genuine power. When a price makes a great move and then goes right back to where it was, again, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. Whereas on the flip side of things, because, nothing can go straight up, but if the price were to come down here, behave like that, and then curl back upwards, now what do you have? Well, you have a set of lows right here. You have a low right there, and if you envision those as stair-steps, you now have stair-steps progressing in the upwards direction, and that's the name of the game. That's what you want to see. So 360 in my mind, very, very important, because that'll help us answer the question on whether or not this bounce, which is nice, but is it have genuine power behind it? Well, let's see if it can make progress. In terms of areas of resistance right now, I don't know if this... Yeah, I think that's a fair trend line. Yeah, I like that. That's a good job of encapsulating those highs right there. So keep a close eye on that. But you also don't want to get too excited, because even if the price breaks above that red line, you want to keep a close eye on the looming 50-period moving average overhead, which you can see right there. Rejected the price. So that's not to say that it will reject the price, but it is to say it's worth at least keeping an eye on. You are welcome. Let's see. Do you use Fibonacci? I do, yep. Thank you for the SPY. You're welcome. NKLA. NKLA. Isn't this one a penny stock these days, or am I? Oh, it's trying to become not a penny stock today. Okay, so daily. So daily has actually made a pretty significant move today. There was this trend line right here that is now nicely above it. So that's certainly a step in the right direction. Clearly, a lot of work needs to be done. But in the very near term, that's a step, assuming you're bullish, that is certainly a step in the right direction. Got the break of that trend line right there. Let's drop now down on the 30-minute. So 30-minute, the level that I would say very, very important is going to be this area right here around, let's just call it 70 cents. And that is important for two reasons. Number one, that is where the 200 period moving average is. And when prices get above that 200 period, if they are tested again, you do preferably want to see the price hold above it. And the second is because that's where this trend line happens to be. So in other words, if the price were to come down here and then break down through this general area, what do you have? Well, now you have the price entering back into the range that it just broke out of. So along the lines of what we just talked about, you want to at least see progress being made. Nothing can go straight up. But if the price were to come down here and then behave, do something like that with the classic back test and then go, think about it, what you would have from a progress standpoint. You'd have a set of lows right here. You'd have lows right there. You'd have actually a little bit lower right there. You could put those as stair steps, and you have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So, yeah, that would be a scenario where if it does pull back, I don't want to say that 70 cent mark is a do or die level, but I would say that it's pretty significant as far as just kind of illustrating and telling the story of the price right now. And then in terms of areas of resistance, yeah, I think that's going to be the key level right now. So I'll get rid of that. But I think we have a flat area of resistance. Is that where the price got? Yeah. Okay. Temporary little break. But right there at about 86. So going through the history of things, you can see 86 rejected, rejected, and then rejected right there. So right now, 86 is certainly going to be a very stubborn level. Am I watching STAI? You are late, Ross. We mapped out STAI. Oh, nice. Getting more. Look at that. For those, if you were here, put the number 1 in the chat box. If you were here when I talked about breaking out, coming back, back testing, and then potentially going. Was anybody here when I said that? Put a number 1 in the chat box if you remember me saying that. And I'm not saying any of this to brag about myself. I'm saying it to brag about charts. Charts are a very valuable tool. Are they perfect? No, there's no such thing as a perfect tool. But yes, that is exactly what I was talking about right there. Okay, so I'm glad some of you were here for that. But yes, to answer your question, Ross, we have been watching it, and it was mapped out right here before it even broke out. So I was drawing that trend line, talking about it, a potential breakout there. So yes. Christopher, no, but I trust you. Hey, Christopher, I appreciate that. But that's also the nice thing. If you don't trust me, I totally also appreciate that. I understand. I understand this is YouTube. I understand this is the internet. I understand I'm a total stranger. But on the good news front, all you got to do is go back in the archive, and you would see whether or not that claim is true. But Christopher, I appreciate you just trusting. Let's see. Again, for anybody that is newer to the stream, if you want me to do if you want me to take a look, it could be a crypto, it could be a future, it could be a stock. But if you want me to do it, guarantee that I'll do it. Do a super chat because I'll see it right away, and then I will do it right away. If not, you run the threat of me just totally missing it, or just not getting to it before I decide to head out. So, or just leave a super chat as a thank you because you're enjoying. And on that note, hit the like button if you're enjoying too, if you like this format. NKLA did that. GCL. I think I took a look at GCL. Or no, somebody was just telling me about GCL, so let's take a look at that. So 30-minute, just beast mode up. So on the 30-minute, very curious, will it, this could be a very, very beautiful setup if it can respect that pink line. So let me get my Pablo Picasso skills out. So if this pink line continues to look something like that, and if the price does come down here and, does something like that, what you would have at that point is you'd have this pullback right here, and it'd be starting to go sideways, but then you'd have this big move beforehand, which is now giving me the ability to draw the bull flag pattern. So have a chance right now to form a very nice bull flag pattern. Now, if it falls below the pink line, I'm still not going to say the end of the world. But yeah, that purple line right there, if it comes on there and then all of a sudden gets to the purple line and keeps on moving downwards, at that point, things start to look very, very sketchy. So, but as right now, like I said, it does have the opportunity to potentially form a nice little bull flag pattern here on the 30-minute. I can't believe only 1, 2, 3, only 4 of you were here for that STAI. Man, that was classic. What averages are those? The 50 period is the 50 period simple moving average is purple. 200 period simple moving average is the pink line. And then what's it look like? Okay. So I'm assuming they either had earnings or news or something today, but big spike up. So yeah, on the daily time frame right here, that purple line being a very stubborn level. Rejected the price right here. Small little break above it, but ultimately rejected the price back down. Let's see. NKLA, GCL, Amazon. So, when's the last time it's done down below here? Wow, not until back in September. Down below that purple line. I mean, look at previously how it did a good job honoring the purple line, honoring the purple line. Again, that's the 50 period moving average right there. Honoring the purple line. And then up until today, it was honoring the purple line. You can see it was basically going sideways. But today, those floodgates opened up, so it makes sense now why there's quite a bit. So just from an overarching standpoint, I could see an initial price target of it potentially heading right down there around 216.50. Again, that's not to say that it will for sure going down there. There's no such thing as for sure's in the market, but yeah, there's quite a bit of space now that opens up on the chart because there really just isn't anything. I mean, you have a couple lows here and there that could provide a little bit of pit stops, but it's nothing like something very straightforward like this where you have just boom 3 lows right in a row. So yeah, I could see Amazon picking up some more pressure as the week unfolds and plays out. Some people may not be able to comment if they are on YouTube as a guest rather than sign into an account. So probably people are here for STAI. Oh, that's an interesting point. I think I have it turned that anybody can comment, but I think your point is in order to comment, you've got to actually be logged in. So that, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good observation. Okay, so just talking out loud, one thing that's funny. So I guess lunchtime is where the cheapskates come. Because what was it, early or late afternoon? Like it was really good for super chats. But now we've had a little bit more people, but not a single super chat. So maybe it's because everybody just spent their money at the vending machine at work. So they don't have any money for a super chat. But right now, the lunchtime crowd is apparently the broke crowd. And the late day crowd actually has some, I don't know. So I'll have to, that's a working theory. Is it because the lunchtime crowd just is all chowing on their Snickers bar right now that they just got from the vending machine? So they're just flat out broke. I have no money. Working theory. I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just thinking maybe that is the case. Lunchtime crowd have already spent their money at the vending machine. A working theory. Let's see here. NKLA, I did that one. Somebody bought puts on PLTR at 125 when it was way overextended on the 5-minute. Wish I stayed in, but I got mine. Congratulations on those gains. Are you watching STAI? Would run? Agreed. Okay, no, but I trust you. Back to have I caught up on all the reverse psychology? No, I'm kidding, but being serious at the same time. It's I find it very interesting. Like obviously, a $2 super chat. I mean, it's money. I don't want to come across as ungrateful, but it's interesting how. And I don't know, maybe there's no correlation, but how can one crowd that's smaller, how do you get, super chats, and then this crowd, which has been bigger, like I said, it's just, I find it fascinating. I'm a former engineer, okay? I like to think about like the details. Sometimes I'll overthink things. I'll overanalyze things. BBAI. Oh, 2 people. What should we do now? Makara. So I'm assuming Makara, where did you buy at? $200. THB. I appreciate that, Ross. I don't know what THB currency is, but either way, that is very nice. And I'm going right to that. So what are your thoughts on Yield Max ETFS? Is that the ticker symbol, ETFS? Oh, type. Okay, cool. I don't even know how to say that next part. What is Yield Max ETFS? Yield Max ET. Okay. Okay, it's an ETF. What is a ticker symbol for ETFS? MSTY. That's the. MSTY. Okay, that's what you're wanting. MSTY. Okay, is this what you want? MSTY. Ross. Okay, perfect. And I know I was just about to talk about BBAI, but as I was telling people, super chats immediately go to the top, and I do it right away. So, well, right now on the 30-minute, I like it very much. Okay, so let's just establish some overall context first. So on the 30-minute here, we do have this overarching area of resistance right here at 25.95, give or take a little bit. You can see right here, small little faulty breakout, flat out rejection, flat out rejection, flat out rejection. So there is this overarching context right here. So we got to just keep that in mind, but let's zoom in here now. Because right now on the 30-minute, we have what I would argue is a nice bull flag pattern. Let me move that down a little bit. And just, I don't know how familiar you are with patterns, but just to ensure you can see it. So, resistance, support, big move up here. Definitely a nice bull flag pattern. So on the 30-minute, looking good. With all that being said, and that's why I want to start off with the overall context, even if the price can come up here and break through this area, that's good, don't get me wrong, but you want to be a little leery. You don't want to get overly excited because not that far looming up ahead is that stubborn level that we already talked about. Now that's, again, the price can still totally break through there. I'm not saying it can't break through there. I'm just saying that, as you saw, that level up there does have a track record of being kind of a party pooper. Like, you know, it enjoys raining on the parades of the bulls. But as of right now, 30-minute, very, very nice bull flag pattern. You definitely want to see it, ideally respect the bottom part of the pattern. If it doesn't, then that 200 period moving average, that pink line right there is a very key level, which you can see right there. Did a good job of respecting it. But yeah, right now, does it get a bounce back to the upside? We'll have to see what happens. But overall, I like it. Bull flag pattern. The only nitpick is even if it does break out, like I said, be a little leery like I said, don't go throw your kid's college tuition into it just because it breaks there. Because if it comes up there and then gets smacked back down, obviously you're not going to be very happy with that situation. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Again, for those of you who are here, if you enjoy this format, if you felt like you've learned something, if you are learning, if you just enjoy this structure of things, hit that like button. Hit the like button, leave a super chat, but because this is still full-blown experimentation mode right now. And I've learned that lunchtime crowd, we're getting some good, we're going to have a good amount of people, but they're all broke from the vending machine. Other than Ross, who is apparently in Thailand, which is cool. Let's see. Okay, so then we were talking about BBAI, and somebody said they're in at $4. Okay. So BBAI, you are in at $4. So your entry point's right there. My next question to you would be, where's your stop loss at? Because you asked, what should we do? So where's your stop loss at? Is my next question. Oh, you just meant about ETFs in general? I've never heard of yield max ETFs, or at least I don't think I've heard of them. And I'm looking that way just because on my monitor over here I have yield max ETFs. So yield max ETFs I don't think I've heard of, but just my thoughts on ETFs in general. Then I have no problem with ETFs. I use ETFs to invest. One of my favorite ticker symbols is an ETF, GCOW, G as in grandma, and then cow. So yeah, I like ETFs. I don't set stop losses. Okay, well then you shouldn't be trading because it's only a matter of time before you lose your account. I know I'm going to sound like a clown because you're going to be like, well, did you get on BBAI at $4? And I'll be like, no, I didn't. Well, then shut your mouth, clown. I'm the one making all the money here. Fine, fair enough. But I'm telling you right now, eventually the strategy of I don't set stop losses, you're going to get wrecked because you're not managing risk. And the most primitive form of risk management is stop losses. Not to mention it's scary that you're asking me what should I do? I was going to tell you you should honor your stop loss, but you don't even have one set. So what should you do? I would highly recommend you manage risk. How do you manage risk? You set a stop loss and then you respect the stop loss. So as far as what you should do, there you go. But that's a very scary spot to be in, that you are in this, you don't know what to do. And my proof of that is you ask me, what should I do? And then you don't even have a stop loss in. That's a recipe for not having an account very long. Again, I understand that I sound like a clown because you're the one that's up very nicely on this one. But I speak as somebody that's done many stupid things over the years. And one of those stupid things is not using stop losses, not managing risk, and then watching a bunch of gains go away very quickly. Let's see. Why am I? Oracle. Let's see. Ticker symbol on Oracle is what? ORCL? Is that right? There we go. Vanilla Frosty. What about support level if you purchase in the $8 range? Well, with all due respect, I don't think you should be trading with. I hope this is a paper trade, because if you don't know how to identify support levels, that's very sketchy. That tells me that you're getting a little bit too far ahead of yourself. So the support level right now, and I'm not trying to be jerks to people, but sometimes the caring thing to do is just be honest with people. And if you're not managing risk, if you don't know how to find support levels, that's okay. That's totally cool. Like, we all start in that spot. But when you're trading with real money under those contexts, not good. And again, this is coming from somebody that's done many stupid things. So right now on the 30-minute, I would call 855 very important area of support as the next level of support. Not until probably about 785. So those would be the two nearer term areas of support that I would keep an eye on. Well, I appreciate the fact that you appreciate the honesty and you don't like, you're a jerk, and then you like sign off. So I appreciate you taking some constructive criticism. A skill that has kind of been lost in the world, it seems like at times. Somebody is brutally honest, you're mean. You're intolerant. It's like, no, I'm literally just telling you something that I've learned over my time. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you appreciating my blunt honesty. Okay, we got to go back to Oracle here. So viewers has dropped a little bit, but I'm looking. So I don't know, is like noon to 1. Is that like the lunch hour? So is that... Now it's 15? How did it drop that quick? Did I just offend a bunch of people? I don't know. I got to figure out what's what. Concurrent, because one says 38, one says 15. So I don't know which is which. Maybe I just offended a bunch of people with that little spiel. You need to get chat. You need chat to get going. I know, JD. I need you to give me a super chat. That's what I need. How are my kids going to eat, JDA? It is 38 viewers. Okay, there we go. Now it corrected back up. That was weird. For a second, it like dropped to 15. So Oracle, looking like probably might need somewhat of a pullback, and I just say that because you look at the last 2 times. Where are we at? I'll probably go another 5 minutes. Last couple of times, went up, got rejected, went up, got rejected back down. So clearly some sellers hanging around in this area. Do they stay up there? That remains to be seen. So I could see a bit of a pullback here in the nearer term. But pullbacks, you know, are plenty healthy as long as they, right? So a pullback, this could be a pullback. But I mean, is that actually like a bad thing? Well, from a technical standpoint, you'd have a pullback, but you'd have that movement right there. You'd have a beautiful bull flag, bull pennant pattern. So pullbacks are not the end of the world. So right now, if I were pushing to a corner, I'd say, yeah, looking like this one probably needs to pull back a bit. Unless these sellers just disappear all of a sudden. But they're clearly hanging around up around this area, which is evident via those 2 upward shadows. If it were to pull back, then I could see an interesting pullback area being down right around that area of 178.75. What's the daily time frame looking like? Oh, nice little breakout here of this kind of general area right here. Yeah, I would expect a little bit more of a pullback here. Daniel Sailors. Yes, I liked it a lot. I don't know what that's in reference to. I don't set stop loss. We addressed that. What confirmation you look for to take a bid, or would you just stay within the range you made? JDA is a total freeloader. JDA has asked about 30 questions. Oracle, please, did that. BBA, Christopher, RGTI. Ooh, rough one on this one today. So it had been doing, I mean, it was trying its best to maintain this area here. There was downwards pressure on it. What is a downwards pressure? How could you actually visualize and see that? Well, check out your moving averages, both with downward slopes to them. So 50 period moving average, downward slope, that illustrates a downwards pressure. Pink line right there illustrates a downwards pressure. So not, again, that doesn't guarantee anything, but it doesn't make this totally shocking to see that the price eventually gave up. Now, this is a very rough day right now. But as of right now, the price is now approaching. I don't remember when I mapped that out, but for some reason, 1040, let's check out the daily time frame. Where's 1040 coming from? Oh, okay. So 1040 is the low of that big spike right there. So you can see it's on its way down to there. And then also, just now on the daily, you can see that the price has given up, totally given up the 50 period moving average. And it's been a long time since the price has been down below. But right there, you can see the price did a good job of holding strong. And then right there did a good job of cruising up above it before finally breaking down below. So yeah, that's worrisome from the daily time perspective, going back to the 30-minute. 1040 next key level that you'd want to see hold. If it doesn't, then that would just be more of a signal that the bears are really taking back over. But yeah, I'm trying to, because I assume most people when they ask, they're bulls, they're long, they're interested in going long. I don't think most people are shorts, so I like to try to offer up at least something like glass is half full, but struggling on this one. This is rough. Like, it's not even at least if it were going sideways right now, then I could say, well, you know what? It's going sideways. Maybe the bleeding is finally over. But no, it's not even doing that. It's literally just going straight down right now. So it is still bleeding. So yeah, RGTI looking rough. Let's see. NVDA. In terms of setting a stop loss, how do you create a logical conclusion on a price point? That's a very good question, Trevor, but actually a very in-depth question. And that's the sort of stuff, not trying to turn this into a sales pitch, but that's what I cover in my premium trainings. Just because it is a much more in-depth question, but great question. Ross. Put a stop loss on any trade at the moment you're willing to lose. No, that's true, Ross, but Trevor is asking, yeah, but that moment where I'm willing to lose, like how do I know that's actually a good logical spot to be willing to lose? And that's where it becomes more of an in-depth question. So yes, on the surface. Oh, we got to go. Long-time subscriber. Thanks for all the vids. Well, come on, Christopher. What do you want? Give me an analysis. I appreciate you just giving me a super chat for a thanks, but I mean, give me something that you'd like an analysis on at least. Very kind of you to just give it as a thank you, but so yeah, Ross, you're right. That is what a stop loss is, but I think Trevor is peeling back the layer, which is very smart, to be like, yeah, but where do you create a logical area? Where is it logically correct to be like, yeah, I need to take the loss here? Just looking area to buy lower. Okay. ABK, is that because you're already in RGTI? Hey, Clay, do you think do you think SPY will reach? Let's take a look at SPY. Do I think it'll reach 611 today? Where's 6? Yeah, well, today I have no idea. Would it be shocking? No, I don't think it would be shocking at all. It is going to require it to get up through this area of resistance zone, though. So it's really just a question of who asked that. TKR, really TKR more of, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you think it can break through this clump of resistance? That would be the main dynamic, because that is going to be that's kind of the line in the sand on whether or not your 611 mark happens or not. But yeah, the charts don't give you any sort of power in terms of, oh, it'll for sure do that. But I would say it's not unreasonable. Now, if you're like, is it going to hit 615 today? I mean, again, I still don't know that, but I would say probably not as you're not being as reasonable as 611. But there's work to be done, because it's definitely got a big old clump of sellers up here. Oh, okay. Why does he care about today? Because you have options on it, don't you? TKR, are you being a degen with options, TKR? That's why you're asking about today. Yeah. That's like, today. Why does it matter for today? Oh, because you have options. Come on, don't be a degen with options. Don't be a degen. What I like, UB9 right now is what I like. Omega. What's going to happen now that it's broken down? I'm not sure what that's in reference to. On Friday, I asked about SOFI at the risk of over-explaining, although it was never down on my position. I was getting ready to bail because I thought it was rolling over, but you called it a healthy pullback. Also, you nailed it at 1649 again on SOFI. If I can be brutally honest, I remember nothing that I said about SOFI. Oh, yeah. Right here. When I was talking about it, it looked something like that. Now I remember, right? Yeah. That was, at that point, was totally healthy. So good. Congratulations that you were getting ready to bail, but you called healthy pull. Also, you nailed it. 16. Very good. Well, congrats on that trade. Man, Christopher he just flat out just gave it. Didn't even give me a request. Very nice. Trevor, appreciate it. Yeah, gulp. I already did Qs earlier. So we are at an hour and 3 minutes. I have caught up on the chat. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it good. So, but we're at 50 viewers. Now I want to keep pushing. Now I want to see if we can get up to 60. Oh, all right. Let's go to QQQ. Now my competitiveness is kicking in. Can we get this thing up to 60? We're at 51. Does it tell me the record anywhere? I don't see the record. But anyways, as I mentioned earlier on QQQ, really all about this line right here in terms of what's going to make this chart look the strongest moving forward. Staying above that trend line right there would get the mission accomplished. But again, if it doesn't hold above there, not the end of the world. In the very near term, right there, you have a little area of resistance. You can see right there, rejected the price. So a nice high volume break of that. Again, no guarantees, but high volume break of 538.80, I think gives it a very good chance to at least go up there and retest those highs, if not even push higher. Are you in any trades right now? No, I'm just hanging out. I trade futures, so futures, one of those. It's nice things. You can be in and out of them very quickly. Here's a question for you. Okay, what time frame do you like best for swing trades? 60 minute for sure. 60 minute for sure. And even the 30 minute. So I would say, here's a question for you. What time frames do you like best? So in my mind, it's a question of, Christopher, where do you think most people are watching? Because that way you can get more of those potential self-fulfilling prophecies. So I think the 30 minute, the 60 minute, the hourly, what? Yeah. See, about an hour, I guess my brain starts to shut down because the hourly and the 60 minute are the same thing. So the 30 minute, the 60 minute, and the daily, I would say would be the three ones that work together. But again, is this a swing trade where you're just wanting to hold for a few days, or are you looking to potentially hold for a few weeks? If you're looking to potentially hold for a few weeks, then I'd certainly bring in the weekly time frame. But within the family of swing trading, you have different types of swing trading. So potentially you're like, no, I'm a swing trader, but I'm only looking to hold for hours. So I'm not like a scalper where I'm looking to buy and sell within minutes or seconds, but I'm willing to hold for hours. At that point, okay, maybe you bring in the 5 minute to help with an entry point. So it really just depends on what kind of swing trader you would be. But just if for your question, I would say the 30 minute, the 60 minute, and the daily would be a good framework to build from. Omega, would putting a stop loss a single cent below current price be a good idea? I don't know what you're talking about, Omega. I don't know what stock you're talking about, but I will say yes, using stop losses in general is a good idea. But as far as a cent below the current price, I don't know. I'm not sure what stock you're talking about. So I don't know if that stop loss location would be a good idea, but I will say that it is a good idea, generally speaking, to use stop losses. Yeah. My mind's starting to shut down. I use the 60 minute and I use the hourly. Those are two really good time frames. There we go. Hello, so I was looking at oil on the 4 hour. I'm looking at 68.68 stop loss round. Hey, I'll talk some futures. Are you talking crude? Lunchable? Let's go to the 4 hour on crude. So he's saying I'm looking at 68.68. Okay. We got us. Come on, Lunchable. Are we talking crude here? You're looking at 68.68. Okay. Oh, must be these lows down here. Okay, yeah, there we go. So you're looking at 68.68. Stop loss around 67. And sell around 75. Well, I mean, if you feel personally, if you're like, yeah, that doesn't freak you out, then fine. As far as where you're looking at it, I totally see that. Like I understand the logic. That doesn't guarantee that it'll work, but yeah, I can see why you'd be interested in that area. I mean, you have quite a bit of history of that providing support right there. 67 for a stop loss. Yeah, 67 seems relatively random. I would say that. So I'm not sure. I'm not saying for sure because you could very well be seeing something that I'm not seeing. But 67, in my opinion, the glancing here seems relatively random. And then sell around 75. Well, where's 75 at? I mean that's so you're thinking you can risk basically. Let's just call it, to keep the math easy, you're thinking you can risk about $2 per contract, and then you're looking to get $8 per contract. At 75, it puts it up around here probably. After being down at 68, yeah, I mean, that's going to take a lot of work. That's going to take a lot of work. So I do like 68. I totally see your logic there. The other ones, not quite sure. New in day trading. What is the best time frame during the session? What is the best time frame during the? There is no best time frame. You should be using multiple time frames, and that's where you spin down into all sorts of debates. I would say I've never heard anybody not use a 5 minute, so I would say 5 minute. But I reject the premise of your question because you're saying what is the best time frame, or what is the best time during the session to start? Oh, I take that back. I misread. Oh, I don't know. You got to figure out what works for you. Some people be like, don't ever trade the first 15 minutes. Other people say, don't ever trade the first 30 minutes. Other people be like, you got to get in there at the first 5 minutes. So you got to figure out what works best for you. Hey, Clay, what platform are you using here for the charts? This is WeBull. So I'll put this out there for everybody. Because if you use this link, yes, and it's an affiliate link, but another super easy way. But that'll also give you a deal. Because WeBull is always giving away money. They're giving away stocks if you use, proper links. So yes, that is an affiliate link. I will get something if you use it, but you will also get something. So we'll call that a win-win. PLTR looks like a bubble ready to pop. Yeah, PLTR is quite the it's been quite the mover. So funny story there. I had a buddy that, what was it? I don't know. It was below $10. He bought it way back whenever that was, and then he sold it at like 20 something. And now he texts me every now and then like, "Did you see it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I see it. I think of you all the time." Hey, thanks, Lunchable. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. Well, we're at 45. Any other? Well, let's go back to Tesla. For those of you that maybe have not been here, we have been tracking Tesla. We watched the breakdown, and it still won't do it. Just go to the blue line. Now we have a problem, though, with the blue line. So let's turn this into a quiz question for everybody. See how people's understanding of the market is. My claim is this. There is a problem now with that blue line from the short side. What is the problem with that blue line? Again, previously I talked about, if it can get down to that blue line, that could spur more downside pressure. But my claim has now changed to, I don't like the blue line as much. Why has my claim changed? We're going to turn this to a real-life quiz question. Why has my claim changed? Why has my claim changed in regard to that blue line? Give everybody... Trading with very little money to practice. Is it a good idea? I would highly recommend doing futures trading through a prop firm. Because doing futures trading through a prop firm, you have very, very, very minimal of your money on the line, but it still gives you those voices. It still gives you kind of the feeling of trading with real money. But it's a way to, and you don't have to worry about the pattern day trader rule, because there's no pattern day trader rule in futures. So if I were you, I would recommend actually go to the link that you see there, claytrader.com/take profit, and I would recommend doing that. Because yes, you want to trade with very little money, and that prop firms, especially with futures, allow exactly that. Is anyone who won Clay's prop firm giveaway here? I'm not sure what you're asking, TKR. Okay, so did we just see it happen? I turned my head and it just happened. We got the plunge. And yes, so the answer to that was why I don't like it as much is because of this right here. That pink line, the 200 period moving average, has crept its way up. Last time we were talking about it, I think when it first happened, it was like something like this. So like the pink line was way down here. But because that's a moving average, and over the course of the live stream, it has worked its way all the way up here. So now the break of the blue line, I mean, it can still go, but I don't like it as much because it could very well get caught up in that pink line, which is what it's trying to do right now. But also, to be fair, it's also trying to push down further. But there we go. But yes, for those of you that answered and had your eye on the pink line there, well done. That's exactly what has changed over the course of time on why I no longer like the blue line as much as I did previously. But now, with it breaking down below, where's that line at? All time. Okay, so this level right here, that's kind of my new, you got to think there's a bunch of stop losses there. Stop losses on the long side because of that low, and also they're giving themselves plenty of cushion down below the pink line there. So if 352, if that blue line is hit, I could see this getting another round of downside pressure. But yeah, this is a nasty candle here. So good. And if you guys remember, I made these alerts to the private community. So there you go, blue line, and that even more. So yeah. Yeah, TCAR, I'm still not sure what you're talking about a giveaway. I do run prop firm giveaways. That is true. Didn't quite get there. Moment in history. You the best, buddy. Thank you, Dane. What is the purple and pink line? Purple line is a 50-period simple moving average. Pink line is a 200-period simple moving average. But okay, and then we'll end with STAI because that's where we kind of started with, or not started with, but that was one of the alerts for those of you that were here at that time. Got that line drawn in, and then got a beautiful breakout through there. So yeah, and right now it's still just kind of hanging around, consolidating. Makara, Makara, you should not be trading. Stop trading. Stop. You don't know what you're doing. Why do you think it's a good idea to keep trading when you don't know what you're doing? Seriously, be grateful that you got super lucky on BBAI. Like, be super grateful. Take those gains and then learn how to trade. But to continue doing this is going to end badly. I'm telling you, it's going to end badly. You don't know what you're doing. My proof of that is you're asking me, what is a good support? You're looking to hop in SOUN. No, stop trading. Learn. Go to my site. Go to my blog. A bunch of free videos. If you want structured video, go to my structured education. Go here if you want to actually learn in a structured way. If not, that's fine too. Go to my channel. But goodness. I've been trading since college, and I graduated college in 2006. The site has been around since 2013. When I say the site, I mean claytrader.com, and I mean the YouTube channel has been around since 2013. So yeah, what's that, like 12 years now? Kermie Swampson, you did catch me live. Yeah, you gave me a bunch of, you were replying to a bunch of videos over the weekend, if I remember that right, Kermie Swampson. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it good. I will say that if you are a stock trader or an options trader and you can't stand the pattern day trading rule because it prevents you from trading as much as you want to trade, truly go to this link and consider getting into futures trading, because in futures, there is no pattern day trading rule. You don't need a whole bunch of money. If you go to that link, you'll see how it works. You purchase buying power. So right now, which you can see at the top of the screen, you could get $50,000 worth of buying power for $85. Okay? So $85 gets you $50,000 worth of buying power, and there's no pattern day trading rule. So, like I said, check out that link. It'll walk you through how the prop firm works, all that. It's what I do. It's what I recommend. Now, I don't necessarily do it because you don't need a lot of money. I do it just because, well, several reasons. Ton of the members in the community finally convinced me to give it a try. I was stubborn for like the past 2 years, but I was like, all right, fine, I'll give it a try. And I'm like, oh wow, futures is awesome. Prop firms makes a lot of sense. It's also something that's very accessible to people. A lot of people can do it. If I'm sitting there on YouTube trading 500 shares of Tesla, it's like, okay, well, how many people can actually relate to that? Probably not a whole lot, but a lot of people can relate to the prop firms because anybody can, well, I don't know about anybody, but I think a lot of people have $85. No free commissions on futures like stocks, though. Yeah, I mean, but are you really going to sacrifice not being able to trade as much as you want? Because I can't trade. I only get 3 day trades every 5 days, but at least you don't have to pay commissions. Like, I think that's a weak justification. I think that could very easily be overcome by just being able to trade as much as you want. So that is true. There are commissions with futures, but I think the pros way overwhelm the cons, such as, well, there's commissions. It's like, okay, well. So like I said, and then who here short stocks? Like, has anybody ever had to go and like try to find shares to borrow? Like, okay, I want to borrow these shares so I can short this, this micro cap stock. In futures, you just short. You don't have to pay extra to borrow. You just short. You don't have to search for things to short. You just short. You just short. That's it. Are you going to be streaming tomorrow? Yeah, yep. I don't know what time. And in fact, I may still stream tonight just because I'm trying to collect data points on when the best time to stream is. So maybe I'll do like 4. See, I'm in Iowa, so I'm on Central Time, but my computer is set to Eastern Time because that's kind of how I've always operated. So I might stream at 4 p.m. Eastern just to try it like a late day stream. But yeah, I'll be on sometime tomorrow because I would say this was a successful one. Good participation. Actually had some good super chats. Likes are at 40. Again, if you enjoy this format, if you're finding it helpful, hit that like button. That's a very, very free and easy way to communicate that to me. A non-free way to communicate that to me would be a basic super chat. But yeah. So I'm looking at the likes. And didn't I say I was going to be done like an hour, and now it's an hour and 20 minutes? But I got suckered in because it was at like 51 people. I'm like, let's see if we can push to 60. But it looks like failed at that one. Omega. Yes, exactly. Good point, Omega. So I'll just show you. So let's see. How do I get to that? So on this, as far as, I went down too far. So right here, now you got to use the code. That's where the 50% off is coming from. So use that link and then you'll get the 50% off. But yeah, for $85, you get $50,000 worth of buying power. Now you can't go out there and just lose $50,000. There are rules that you need to like be able to trade. So you can lose up to 2,000. You're allowed to buy up to 6 contracts of normal or 6 micros. But I mean, 6 is a ton. Like 6 contracts in futures will make anything you're trading in stocks. Like, well, STAI, like that was like $3. It's like, yeah, no, I don't care. Like futures make stocks look like child's play when it comes to like, if you're looking for gains to add up very quickly, futures will give that to you. But keep in mind, that's a 2-sided coin. The other side is losses can also build up very quickly. But yeah, exactly. So Omega, you understood that exactly right. You get $50,000 of purchasing power for $85. So if you were to lose more than 2,000, do you actually lose 2,000 out of your account? No, you don't. You would have just lost the cost of the account, which was $85. Now, if you do $100,000 of purchasing power, that would be $165. Now, in this situation, they allow you to lose a little bit more. They'd lose, you lose up to $3,000. But again, if you were to like lose your mind, do something really stupid, and then you lose $3,000, is that $3,000 out of your account? It is not. It would have been $165 out of your account. What if you make the profit target? Then you get a funded account, and then you keep on trading, and then you can start to pull money out of it. So yes, this first phase is a test to prove that you can trade. And then once you prove that you can trade, then yeah, you can then you can start to request payouts. You get paid, and it's like I said, it's a risk management tool because you can go and trade with your own money if you want, whether that's stocks, futures, anything. But if you do something stupid, and then it's like, oh wow, I had such a bad day. What happened? I just lost $1,500. In the world of prop firms, again, you didn't lose $1,500. You lost whatever the cost of the account was. Does that make? Hopefully that makes sense to people. I can't short since I'm on the Robinhood. Yeah, TKR, exactly. And that's another thing. Thank you for bringing that up. It's like stocks, a lot of brokers, they don't even let you short things. But in futures, you just short. You just do it. There's no headache. If you think the price is going to go down, then just go short. No headaches at all. At all. JDA, no. I have engaged with you. Yeah, I've engaged with you. But there's other people to engage with, too. Newbie here. Pre-course. Trying to understand. Thanks for the video. Thanks for... All right, RJ. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by pre-course. Trying to understand, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to degen that 150K into $2. Well, okay, so that's fine. I know. I realize you're just joking around. But okay, so $150,000 worth of buying power costs $180. You can lose up to $4,500. So again, if you were to go and just lose your mind, and 50, that's insane. Like 15 contracts on the NASDAQ. Oh my goodness. Like, again, the gains will add up super, super fast, but again, two-sided coin. But if you were to lose 4,500, the question is, did you just lose $4,500 out of your trading account, out of your bank account? No, you lost $180 because that's what you paid for the account. So that's what I mean by prop firm accounts are a great risk management tool. Because if you lose your mind, you do something stupid, you have a bad day, which comes with the territory, it's not going to cost you thousands of dollars. It'll cost you what your account actually was. Does it look like AMD is going to go up? Honestly, I'm done doing the analysis. If somebody wants to super chat me up, I'm good, but I'm kind of burnt out from doing the analysis. We're almost at an hour and 30 minutes. So no offense, Harold, you're just a little bit too late. But again, if you want to super chat it, then yeah, I'll take a look. Any news that struck you this month? 3 phases. All right, cool. Joseph, I like the 3-minute, so I don't have to keep going back and forth between the 1 and 5-minute. That's cool. I don't use a 3-minute, Joseph, but that's not to say that it doesn't work. It just, if anything, it just shows how everybody's got to do their own thing, kind of find their what works for them. So if you feel comfortable with the 3-minute, more power to you, Joseph. It's weird that Robinhood refuses to read the room. Well, I mean, in Robinhood's defense, when they start to allow shorting and all this sort of stuff, it changes their risk profile as a firm, because shorting risky stocks is very risky to the broker themselves. So I don't know if it's a matter of them not reading the room. I think it's just like, no, we have our business model. We don't want to introduce a bunch of risk by letting people short these super, super sketchy stocks. Oh, RJ, you just deleted something. Do you get the 9K profit or just a percentage? No, the 9K is your test. You get 9K and then you get a funded account. And then from there, you get to start to keep the money. So this is total, like I said, it's all explained how it works. So real quick. So select your account size, prove you can trade. So reach your profit target while proving you can follow their set of risk rules. All those are great rules because these rules force you to be focused on risk management. And then the next phase, you get to start earning money. But yeah, there is the approval. They're not just going to let you show up, act like a degen, getting lucky, and then get paid. No, you have to prove yourself. But I'm assuming that's what you all want to do here anyways. You all want to be successful traders. You all want to be able to make consistent money. I'm just saying that the process of getting there can be very expensive, especially if one day you do something really stupid and it costs you thousands of dollars. But in the prop firm world, when you have one of those really bad off days, it's not going to cost you thousands. It would just cost you it would cost you the cost of the account. Or 25,000 right here. 25,000. Your profit target to pass is 1,500, and then you also, so a lot of people like that just because you have $1,500 of wiggle room to lose, but you also still only need to make the $1,500. On Take Profit Trader, can you trade gold futures? Yes, you can, Ross. Good question. Yep. Again, use that link at the top of the screen. That's where the 50% off is going to come from. Thank you, Clay. Have a good day. Yeah, you too, Omega. Kazari, do you use fundamental analysis in futures? No, another great thing is just trade the chart. Just look at the chart and trade it. No need to go through balance sheets or fund. No, nothing. Just trade the chart. That sounds pretty good. I might sign up. What broker does it support? You'll get access to, well, you get to choose. I use Tradeovate. So during the sign up process, it'll say, what broker do you want? I would select the option for Tradeovate. That's the one that I use. And let's see if I can bring it up. I think some of my, there's a little bit of a delay. So here's the platform that you would have right here. So this is futures right here. Now don't let all these lines, like what am I looking at? It doesn't need it. You don't need all these lines. Again, do what works for you. But as far as, super easy. If I want to buy, you just buy. Right here, it tells you how many contracts. Right here, you can change that to however many you want. You can come up here and change accounts. So like there is my pro account, which I don't really do too much today. So pro account just means this is the account where the test phase has been passed. So that's why, and that's why that number's down there changing, because I'm changing between accounts right now. But yeah, I want to buy 1 contract. I want to buy 5 contracts, you know. Now remember, each one of those has limits to what you can buy based on the size of your account. But yeah, things will add up very quickly. And options are allowed? No. You got to just abandon options. Stop wasting your time with options. Seriously, like, let me ask you this, TKR. Have you ever done futures before? Good questions. Keep on asking if there's any other questions, because this is good stuff. Yeah, I promise you, once you do it, we've had so many members, myself included. Like I said, I was in stocks and options for years, and my community was like, dude, just do futures with a prop firm. I'm like, no. And then I did. I'm like, oh, why haven't I been doing this? You will never think about options again if you do futures. I guarantee, well, 99% sure you will never think about options again, because you'll be like, oh, this is so much better. Like theta. Think about theta in options. Like, how annoying is theta in options? When you're buying options, theta is the most annoying thing. Now, I'll also say this. If you trade options and you buy options, and you're like, what is this guy talking about theta? That's such a massive red flag that you should not be trading options. Does futures? Yeah, futures is all leverage. Yeah, no, there's a lot of leverage in futures. That's why the gains can add up very quickly, but they can also disappear quickly. Wait, you don't recommend options anymore? I mean, I recommend whatever works best for you. I'm for whatever works best for you. But what I'm saying is, I've heard the argument, and it seems to ring true. Everybody eventually ends up in futures, because futures alleviate so many problems. But there are some very good options traders out there. So I'm not saying that options are worthless. If options work for you, that's great. My only argument is, at least try futures. And if after trying futures, you're like, nope, options I like better, I'm going with options, that is totally fine. Go for it. At least you tried futures. That is my only argument. At least try futures. And again, I would argue through the prop firm. That way you have your risk very, very minimized. And then make the decision from there. I could never learn Greek anyways. Yeah, no, and options, that they definitely make it a little bit more. Do you have a video of you using Take Profit Trader? Yeah, I have an entire playlist. So if you go to my site, so this is claytrader.com/blog. So yeah, that's just the blog. And if you come over here to live trades, now it's got to be some of the more recent ones. I mean, you could go back here to, I have 117 pages. So these are like my first ones. This is like from like 12 years ago. So make sure you're on like page 1, and then all these would be me trading, including today. I put out a new one. This would be trading with Take Profit Trader. I'm just going to paper trade on futures to see if I enjoy it. Okay. What would be the incentive for you to go back to options? That's a very good question. I don't know. Now, again, for me, and I don't want to sound arrogant, but I mean, for me, I can do whatever I want, and it doesn't really matter, because I have more than $25,000. So like the pattern day trader rule is just, it doesn't matter to me at all. I don't have to worry about the pattern day trader rule. But from where I put myself as, whatever you want to call me, a YouTuber, a coach, a mentor, whatever you want to call me, there is the business component where it's like, where do I position myself where I can actually relate to more people? And I can relate to way more people through futures, because futures, there's no pattern day trading rule. So that in and of itself, when you can be like, no, you don't need the $25,000, that makes it so much more relatable. So I can't really think of anything that really makes sense for me, whether that be from a trading standpoint or from a business standpoint. Because again, this is not a charity I'm running here. This is a for-profit business, in case you were not aware. So from a business standpoint and from a trading standpoint, yeah, it's just way overwhelmingly to futures. Theta equals time decay or edge erosion. That is correct. But a lot of people, let me put it that way. If you trade futures and you just read what Wahib wrote, and you're like, I still don't, like, what does that have to do with anything? Please stop trading, or please stop trading options immediately. Options trading is not for beginners. I would agree. Well, nothing is really for beginners. Again, that's where I go back to the argument of the prop firm, because the prop firm, as a beginner, there's nothing better for you than to have these rules impressed on you. Hey, bozo, you got to manage risk. You can't go out there and just start YOLOing and losing $2,000. You got to manage risk. You got to set stop losses, because if you hit that, you failed the test. But on the flip side, as a beginner, you're going to do dumb things regardless. Whether you trade stocks, options, futures, for anything, you're going to do dumb things. So I would rather have a dumb thing cost you $85 as opposed to $2,000. That is my main argument, especially for beginners, somebody that is struggling. Oh, yes. So Christopher, if I've piqued your interest, then let me get this linked in the chat room. Go to this right here. Totally free 4-part series on futures. It'll give you, the foundation from there. And then, so right here, like I said, start at class 1, which is down at the bottom. Scroll down. Class 1 right there. Start there. And that'll give you the foundation to which you can build from. But good, yeah. I hope to pique people's interest, because I think futures offer a lot of benefits that I kind of shoved aside. But now I'm here to let people know about it. So, all right, I am definitely going to wrap things up here. Good questions. And once final time, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to do these live streams, the free way to do that would be to hit that like button. If you want to just do it the non-free way and just show a little appreciation, which I always appreciate it. A super chat is another way to do that. But again, hit that like button for sure to communicate on if you like this or not. And seriously, we got on futures. I don't remember how we even ended on this topic, but yeah, seriously look into them, consider them. They offer a lot of good benefits. But again, hit that like button if you enjoyed. I thank everybody's time for being here. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again on a future stream. But everybody take care. Wherever you're at in the world, have a great afternoon, great morning, great middle of the night. I don't know where you're at, but take care. And I'll see you again.